Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj on November 7th, 2020 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Sri Guru Nityanandam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Islam Harihi Om Tatsat.
So
Today
today,
continue with the compilation of the Krishna Chaitanya book.
we are continuing with the compilation of the Krishna Chaitanya book. Today's topic is Govardhanadhari Gopala is bathed, fed, offered arati and put to rest by Madhavendra Puri.
গিরিধারীর পকটনের জন্য পুরীর যত্ন।
অনেকে রোদন করি মন কইল স্থির, আজ্ঞা পালন লাগি হইলা সুস্থির।
Madhavendra Puri cried for some time, but then he fixed his mind on executing the order of Gopala. Thus he became tranquil.
রাত স্নান করি পুরী গ্রাম মধ্যে গেলা, সব লোক একত্র করি কহিতে লাগিলা।
After taking his morning bath, Madhavendra Puri entered the village and assembled all the people. Then he spoke as follows.
গ্রামবাসীগণকে সহায়তার জন্য প্রণোদন। গ্রামের ঈশ্বর তোমার গোবর্ধনধারী, কুঞ্জে আছে চলো তারে বাহির যে করি।
The proprietor of this village, Govardhanadhari, is lying in the bushes. Let us go there and rescue him from that place.
অত্যন্ত নিবিড় কুঞ্জ নারী প্রবেশিতে, কুঠারি কোদালি সহলহ দ্বার করিতে।
The bushes are very dense and we will not able to enter the jungle. Therefore take choppers and spades to clear the way.
Madhavendra Puri addressed all the villagers to help him rescue Giridhari Gopal
So Madhavendra Puri requested the villagers to help him to rescue Giridhari Gopal
from the bushes. He described him as the lord of that village.
He described him as the lord of the village
And he requested everyone to help him get him out.
and requested everyone to help him to get him out.
গ্রামবাসীর সমবেত যত্ন শুনিল, তার সঙ্গে চলিলা হরিষে, কুঞ্জ কাটি দ্বার করিলা প্রবেশে।
After hearing this, all the people accompanied Madhavendra Puri with great pleasure according to his directions. They cut down the bushes, cleared the path, and entered the jungle.
So Madhavendra Puri had received in his dream a message from Gopal
So Madhavendra Puri has received in his dream a message from Gopal
that he was in such and such place in the jungle.
that he was in such and such a place in the jungle.
Madhavendra Puri could not go there in advance because of the thick bushes.
So Madhavendra Puri could not go in advance because of the thick bushes.
But he directed all the villagers to cut a doorway into the bushes, go to the exactly where he had seen the Gopal deity in the dream.
So Madhavendra Puri has requested the villagers to cut the doorway to go exactly where the Gopal deity is situated.
সকলের লোকায়িত গিরিধারী দর্শন ও আনন্দ ওর দেখিল মাটি তৃণে আচ্ছাদিত দেখি সব লোক হইল আনন্দ বিস্মিত
When they saw the deity covered with dirt and grass, they were all struck with wonder and pleasure.
So the deity had been camouflaged with dirt and plants.
So the deity has been camouflaged with dirt and plants.
Been there for maybe thousands of years.
Been there maybe for thousands of years.
And so the villagers are very amazed to see the deity there.
So the villagers were very amazed to see the deity there.
And at the same time, they're very happy.
And at the same time, they were very happy.
বিগ্রহের অত্যাধিক গুরুত্ব আবরণ দূর করিল চিহ্নিতে মহাভারী ঠাকুর কেহ নারে চালাইতে
After they had cleansed the body of the deity, some of them said, "The deity is very heavy. No single person can move him."
মহা বলিষ্ঠ লোক একত্র করিয়া পর্বত ওপরে গেল পুরী ঠাকুর লইয়া
Since the deity was very heavy, some of the stronger men assembled to carry him to the top of the hill. Madhavendra Puri also went there.
পর্বত ওপরে বিগ্রহের অভিষেক আরম্ভ পাথরের সিংহাসনে ঠাকুর বসাইল বড় এক পাথর পৃষ্ঠে অবলম্ব দিল
A big stone was made into a throne, and the deity was installed upon it. Another big stone was placed behind the deity for support.
That's why they made a makeshift temple for the deity.
So, in this way, they made a
Makeshift
temple for the deity.
নৈবেদ্য ও পুজো উপকরণ গ্রামের ব্রাহ্মণ সব নবঘট লইয়া গোবিন্দ কুণ্ডের জল আনিল ছানিয়া
All the Brahmana priests of the village gathered together with new water pots, and water from Govinda Kunda lake was brought there and filtered.
Govinda Kunda is a famous Kunda on the side of Govardhan Hill.
So Govinda Kunda is the famous Kunda on the site of the Govardhan hill.
নবশত ঘট জল কইল উপনি নানা বাদ্য ভেরি বাজে স্ত্রীগণ গায় গীত
When the deity was being installed, water was brought from Govinda Kunda in hundreds of new pots. There were also musical sounds of bugles and drums and the singing of women.
কেহ গায় কেহ নাচে মহৎ সব হইল দধি দুগ্ধ ঘৃত আইল গ্রামে যত ছিল
During the festival at the installation ceremony, some people sang and some danced. All the milk, yogurt, and clarified butter in the village were brought to the festival.
So the villagers are able to have spontaneously a festival
So the villagers were able to have spontaneously a festival,
bringing various products, cow products to the village
bringing the various cow products from the village
to perform Abhishek and offering.
to perform the Abhishek and offering.
bathing ceremony and offering.
The bathing ceremony and offering.
ভোগ সামগ্রী আইল সন্দেশ আদি যত নানা উপহার তাহা কহিতে পারি কত
Various foods and sweetmeats, as well as other kinds of presentations, were brought there. I am unable to describe all this.
তুলসী আদি পুষ্প বস্ত্র আইল অনে আপনে মাধবপুরী কইল অভিষেক
The villagers brought a large quantity of tulsi leaves, flowers, and various kinds of garments. Then Sri Madhavendra Puri personally began the Abhisheka (bathing ceremony). Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. In the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, it is stated that the deity should be bathed in water mixed with yogurt and milk, accompanied by the sounds of conch shell, bells, and other instruments, and the chanting of the mantra Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha, as well as the chanting of the Brahma Samhita verses beginning Chintamani Prakarasatma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vritesu Surabhir Abhipalayantam.
I see how the villagers by Govardhan were spontaneously inspired to worship the Lord.
So we see how the villagers by the Govardhan, they were spontaneously inspired to worship the Lord.
They brought hundreds of water pots from the Govinda Kunda.
So they brought hundreds of water pots from the Govinda Kunda.
They brought various milk, yogurt,
They brought
ghee,
They brought various milk, yogurt, ghee,
sundaes, and many different sweetmeats,
sandesh, and many different sweetmeats,
milk sweets.
milk sweets.
So everyone was spontaneously inspired to worship the deity.
Everyone was spontaneously inspired to worship the deity.
This is the special quality of Vrindavan.
So this is the special quality of Vrindavan.
And the people are very much inclined to worship Krishna.
Where the people are very much inclined to worship Krishna.
অমঙ্গলা দূর করি করাইল শান বহু তৈল দিয়া কইল শ্রীঅঙ্গ চিক্কন
After all inauspicious things were driven away by the chanting of the mantra, the deity's bathing ceremony started. First, the deity was massaged with large quantity of oil so that his body became very glossy.
The process of offering Abhishek is being explained here.
The process of offering an abhishek is being explained here.
পঞ্চগব্য পঞ্চামৃতে স্নান করাইয়া মহাস্নান করাইল শতঘর দিয়া
After the first bathing, further bathings were conducted with Panchagavya and then Panchamrita. And then the Mahasnana was performed with ghee and water, which had been brought in 100 pots. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The ingredients of Panchagavya are milk, yogurt, ghee, clarified butter, cow urine and cow dung. All these items come from the cow. Therefore, we can just imagine how important the cow is, since its urine and stool are required for bathing the deity. The Panchamrita consists of 5 kinds of nectar, yogurt, milk, ghee, honey, and sugar. The major portion of this preparation also comes from the cow. To make it more palatable, sugar and honey are added.
Therefore, offering of cow products is very important aspect in devotional service.
So, therefore, the offering of cow products is a very important aspect in devotional service.
The cows in the Vedic culture are protected
The cows in the Vedic culture are protected
and they're not sent for slaughter.
and they are not sent for slaughter,
They're kept until they die in natural old age.
and they are kept until they die naturally till old age.
So, this milk from protected cows is something that's very much needed in the worship of the Lord.
So, the milk from the protected cow is something very much needed in the deity worship of the Lord.
By taking this milk, finer tissues of the brain are developed.
By taking this milk, one's finer tissues in the brain is developed.
So one gets a finer type of intelligence
Then one gets a finer type of intelligence
to understand spiritual truths.
to understand spiritual truths.
পুনঃ তৈল দিয়া কইল শ্রীঅঙ্গ চিক্কণ শঙ্খ গন্ধ দোকে কইল শান সমাধান.
After the Mahasnan was finished, the deity was again massaged with scented oil and his body made glossy. Then the last bathing ceremony was performed with scented water kept within a conch shell. Purport. In his commentary on this occasion, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes from Hari Bhakti Vilas: barley powder, wheat powder, vermilion powder, urad dal powder, and another powder preparation are called avata, made by mixing banana powder and ground rice, are applied to the deity's body with a brush made from the hair at the end of cow's tail. This produces a nice finish. The oil smeared over the body of the deity should be centered. To perform Mahasnan, at least 2.5 manas, about 24 gallons of water are needed to pour over the body of the deity.
So Bhagavan has explained the process of offering a complete abhishek
So Srila Prabhupada had explained a complete process of offering an abhishek
to the deity.
to the deity.
শ্রীঅঙ্গ মার্জন করে বস্ত্র পরাইল চন্দন তুলসী পুষ্পমাল অঙ্গে দিল.
He was dressed very nicely with new garments, then sandalwood pulp, tulsi garlands, and other fragrant flower garlands were placed upon the body of the deity. After the body of the deity was cleansed, he was dressed very nicely with new garments. Then sandalwood pulp, tulsi garlands, and other fragrant flower garlands were placed upon the body of the deity.
ভোগ আরতি ভোগ দেব করি নানা ভোগ লাগাইল দধি দুগ্ধ সন্দেশ আদি যত কিছু আইল.
After bathing ceremony was finished, incense and lamps were burnt and all kinds of food offered to the deity before the deity. These foods included yogurt, milk, as many sweetmeats as were received.
So the ceremony is complete with offering nice foodstuffs to the deity.
So all the ceremonies complete with offering of nice foodstuffs to the deity.
After the abhishek was performed, the deity was clothed and then offered arati.
After the abhishek was performed, the deities were clothed and offered arati.
And various kinds of bhoga or food offerings were made to the deity.
And various kinds of food offering bhoga was made to the deity.
সুবাসিত জল নবপাত্রে সমর্পিলা আচমন দিয়া সে তাম্বুল নিবেদিলা।
The deity was first offered many varieties of food, then scented drinking water in new pots, and then water for washing mouth. Finally, pan mixed with a variety of spices was offered.
আরতি করি কইল বহুত স্তবন দণ্ডবাদ করি কইল আত্মসমর্পণ।
After the last offering of Tambula and Pan, Bhoga Aratrika was performed. Finally, everyone offered various prayers and then obeisances, falling flat before the deity in full surrender.
Is the quality of the Vrajavasis
So, this is the quality of the Brajabasis,
that all of the prostrate obeisances and surrender to the deity.
that they offer their prostrate obeisances and surrender to the deity.
You know, Prabhupada was going on a morning walk,
Even when Prabhupada would go on the morning walk,
and a rickshaw driver coming would get off his rickshaw
a rickshaw driver who's coming would get out of his rickshaw
and offer his prostrate obeisances on the road.
and offer his prostrate obeisances on the road
To Srila Prabhupada.
to Srila Prabhupada.
So Prabhupada said, this is the nature of the Vrajavasis.
So Prabhupada said, this is the nature of the Brajabashis.
প্রকান্ন ভোগ সমর্পণ অন্নকূট গ্রামের যতক তণ্ডুল দালি গোধূম চূর্ণ সকল আনিয়া দিল পর্বত হইল পূর্ণ।
As soon as the people of the village had understood that the deity was going to be installed, they had brought their entire stocks of rice, dal, and wheat flour. They brought such large quantities that the entire surface of the top of hill was filled.
This ceremony has been described as Annakut,
This ceremony is being described as the Annakut,
a hill made from rice.
a hill made from rice.
On the day of Govardhan Puja,
On the day of Govardhan Puja,
which comes in the month of Kartik,
which comes in the month of Kartik,
known by the Vaishnavas as Damodar,
called by the Vaishnavas as the Damodar month.
they offer a mountain of rice to the deity
So they offer a mountain of rice to the deity
and cover the rice with chapatis and pakoras
and cover the rice with chapatis and pakoras and such things.
Sometimes in Western countries, they make a mountain from halwa.
Sometimes in the Western country, they make a mountain from halwa.
The cultures that celebrate the Lord's coming back on Govardhan, the mountain of Prasadam.
The culture is celebrate the Lord's coming back to the Govardhan with a mountain of prasadam.
কুম্ভকার ঘরে ছিল যে মৃদ ভাজন সব অনাইল প্রাতে চরিল রন্ধন।
When the villagers brought their stock of rice, dal, and flour, the potters of the village brought all kinds of cooking pots, and in the morning the cooking began.
People would cook in
People would cook
terracotta pots.
in
Terracotta.
terracotta pots,
Clay pots.
fire clay pots, pile of clay pots.
So actually, as the pots were used in cooking
Actually, after the pots we use for the cooking, the pots
and used for distribution,
is used for distribution.
and then the pot is thrown away.
And then the pot is thrown away.
It's biodegradable.
It's biodegradable.
No need of washing it.
It has no need of washing. Haribol.
বিবিধ রন্ধন উপাচার 10 বিপ্র অন্ন রান্ধি করে একস্তু জনা 5 রান্ধে ব্যঞ্জনাদি নানা সুখ
10 brahmanas cooked the food grains, and 5 brahmanas cooked both dry and liquid vegetables.
বন্য শাক ফল মূলে বিবিধ ব্যঞ্জন কেহ বরাবরি করি করে বিপ্রগণ
The vegetable preparations were made from various kinds of spinach, roots, and fruits collected from the forest. And some made bada and buddy by mashing dal. In this way, the brahmanas prepared all kinds of food.
What is made by grinding the dal to liquid and putting it in the water.
So, bada and buddy are made by grinding the dal to liquid and putting them in water.
And then having it putting like drops, like they have smaller ones in the West.
They have the smaller ones in the West.
They're like 3/8 inch. But these bodies are like 2 centimeters.
2 centimeters of
Or 3/4 of an inch.
or 3/4 of an inch.
And they're dry and used to cooking.
And they are dry and they are used in the cooking. They dry it and they are used in the cooking.
Vadas are bigger.
Badas are bigger.
Bodies are smaller.
The buddies are smaller. So the buddies are dried and used in the cooking later, like in Shukta and all they use it.
জনা 5-7 রুটি করে রাশি রাশি অন্ন ব্যঞ্জন সব রহে ঘৃতে ভাসি
5 to 7 men prepared a huge quantity of chapatis, which were completely covered with ghee, clarified butter, as were all the vegetables, rice, and dal.
নববস্ত্র পাতি তাহে পলাশের পার রান্ধি রান্ধি তার উপর রাশি কইল ভাত
All the cooked rice was stacked on a palasha leaves, which were on new clothes spread over the ground.
তার পাশে রুটি রাশির পর্বত হইল সুপ আদি ব্যঞ্জন ভাণ্ড চৌদিকে ধরিল
Around the stack of cooked rice were stacks of chapatis, and all the vegetables and liquid vegetable preparations were placed in different pots and put around them.
I can see how the mountain of rice was very beautifully decorated
So we can see how the mountains of rice were beautifully decorated
with pots of cooked vegetables,
with pots of cooked vegetables,
stacks of ghee white smeared chapatis,
with stacks of ghee smeared chapatis,
and tulsi leaves.
and then tulsi leaves.
It's very beautiful to see.
And it's very beautiful to see.
তার পাশে দধি দুগ্ধ মাঠা শিখরণী পায়স মথনি স্বর পাশে ধরি আনি
Pots of yogurt, milk, buttermilk, and shikharani, sweet rice cream, solid cream were placed alongside the vegetables. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. In this kind of ceremony, which are called Annakuta, cooked rice is stacked like small mountain for prasadam distribution.
Some things are placed on the mountain, on the rice, like the pots of vegetable. Some things are put around it, like pots of yogurt.
So some things are placed on the mountain, like cooked pots of vegetables, cooked vegetables in the pot, and some things are placed around the mountain, like pots of yogurt and everything.
preparations.
and various preparations.
পুরী গোসাইয়ের স্বয়ং ভোগ নিবেদন হেন মতে অন্নকূট করিল সাজান পুরী গোসাই গোপালেরে কইল সমর্পণ
In this way, Annakuta ceremony was performed, and Madhavendra Puri Goswami personally offered everything to Gopal.
And specific mantras that are used in offering this edibles to the Lord.
So, there are specific mantras to offer these edibles to the Lord.
And Ananda Puri was a great acharya, great devotee.
So, Madhavendra Puri was a great acharya and a pure devotee.
He personally offered this bhoga to the deity.
And he personally offered this bhoga to the deity.
অনেক ঘট ভরি দিল সুবাসিত জল বহু দিনের ক্ষুধায় গোপাল খাইল সকল
Many water pots were filled with scented water for drinking, and Lord Sri Gopal, who had been hungry for many days, ate everything offered to him.
All the devotees of the village, they were eager to satisfy the Lord.
So all the devotees in the village, they were eager to satisfy the Lord.
And not eaten for a long time.
And he hadn't eaten for a long time,
And not been worshipped.
and he had not been worshipped.
And therefore, when they offered this feast to him,
Therefore, when they offered this feast to him,
he was very satisfied,
he was very satisfied,
and he accepted all the offering
and he accepted all their offerings
because it was offered with love and devotion.
because it was offered with love and devotion.
গোপালের সব নৈবেদ্য ভোজনেও হস্তস্পর্শে পুনঃপূরণ যদ্যপি গোপাল সব অন্ন ব্যঞ্জন খাইল তার হস্তস্পর্শে পুনঃ তেমনি হইল
Although Sri Gopala ate everything offered, still by the touch of his transcendental hand, everything remained as before. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The atheist cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing in the form of the deity, can eat all the food offered by his devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami priyatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. The Lord is Purna, complete, and therefore he eats everything offered by his devotees. However, by the touch of his transcendental hand, all the food remains exactly as before. It is the quality that is changed. It is the quality that is changed. Before the food was offered, it was something else, but after it is offered, the food acquires transcendental quality. Because the Lord is Purna, he remains the same even after eating. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Ishopanishad. Invocation. The food offered to Krishna is qualitatively good as Krishna. Just as Krishna is Avyaya, indestructible, the food eaten by Krishna, being identical with him, remains as before. Apart from this, Krishna can eat the food with any one of his transcendental senses. He can eat by seeing the food or by touching it. Nor should one think that it is necessary for Krishna to eat. He does not become hungry like an ordinary human being. Nonetheless, he presents himself as being hungry, and as such, he can eat everything and anything regardless of the quantity. The philosophy underlying Krishna's eating is understandable by our transcendental senses. When our senses are purified, constantly being engaged in devotional service of the Lord, we can understand Krishna's activities, names, forms, qualities, pastime, and entourage. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grayam indriyaihi sevon mukhehi jivhado swayameva spuratyadaha. No one can understand Krishna by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. The devotees understand Krishna through revelation. It is not possible for a mundane scholar to understand Krishna and his pastime through research work on the non-devotional platform.
Krishna is transcendental.
So Krishna is transcendental.
He is the absolute truth.
He is the absolute truth.
And in a material estimation, 1 plus 1 is 2.
In the material estimation, 1 plus 1 is true.
1 minus 1 is
And
0.
And 1 minus 1 is 0.
But in the absolute, 1 plus 1 equals 1.
But in the absolute platform, 1 plus 1 equals to 1.
1 minus 1 is 1.
And 1 minus 1 is 1.
Absolute truth always remains the complete whole.
Absolute truth always remains as the complete whole.
ইহা অনুভব কইল মাধব গোসাই তার ঠাঁই গোপালের লুকানো কিছু নাই।
How Gopal, at everything, while the food remained the same, was transcendently perceived by Madhavendra Puri Goswami. Nothing remains a secret to the devotees of the Lord.
So how the Lord ate all the prasada, all the bhoga, and then left it all there.
So how the Lord had all the bhoga and left it all there
As prasadam
as prasadam
was seen by Madhavendra Puri.
was seen by Madhavendra Puri.
This transcendental transformation of ordinary food to Krishna Prasad was perceived by the great devotee Madhavendra Puri.
So this transcendental transformation of ordinary food into Krishna prasadam was perceived by the great devotee Madhavendra Puri.
একদিন উদ্যোগে হইছে মহৎ সব কইল গোপাল প্রভাবে হয় অন্য না জানিল।
The wonderful festival and installation of Sri Gopalji was arranged in one day. Certainly, all this was accomplished by the potency of Gopal. No one but a devotee can understand this. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Krishna consciousness movement has spread all over the world within a short time, within 5 years, and mundane people are very much astonished at this. However, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we understand that everything is possible by the grace of Krishna. Why does Krishna have to take 5 years? In 5 days, he can spread his name and fame all over the world like a wildfire. Those who have faith and devotion to Krishna can understand that these things happen so wonderfully by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are simply the instruments. In the fierce battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was victorious within 18 days simply because of Krishna's grace was on his side. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shrir Vijayor Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion. Bhagavad Gita 1878. If the preachers of our Krishna consciousness movement are sincere devotees of Krishna, Krishna will always be with them because he is very kind and favorable to all his devotees. Just as Arjuna and Krishna were victorious in the battle of Kurukshetra, this Krishna consciousness movement will surely emerge victorious if we remain according to the advice of the predecessors, the 6 Goswamis and other devotees of the Lord. As Narottam Das Thakur has stated, Tadera charano shebi bhakta shanibhash, janame janame hoy ei abhilash. The Krishna consciousness devotees must always desire to remain in the society of devotees, bhakta shanibhash. They cannot go outside the Krishna consciousness society or movement. Within the society, we must try to serve the predecessors by preaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult and spreading his name and fame all over the world. If we attempt this seriously within the society, it will be successfully done. There is no question of estimating how this will happen in the mundane sense. But without a doubt, it happens by the grace of Krishna.
So, taking this instruction of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada,
So, taking these instructions of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada,
we should desire to always remain in the society of devotees.
So, we must always desire, always to remain in the society of devotees.
Bhakta Sannivas.
Bhakta Shanibhash.
Prabhupada said they cannot go outside the Krishna conscious society or movement.
Prabhupada said they cannot go outside of the Krishna consciousness society or movement.
Within the society, you must try to
Within the society, one must try to
serve the predecessors by preaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and spreading his name and fame all over the world.
Within the society, we must try to serve the predecessor by preaching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and spreading his name and fame all over the world.
And this is a very clear instruction
So this is a very clear instruction
by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami
In his
Prabhupada
books,
in his books,
in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
And we should all stay within the Krishna conscious society
That we all should stay within the Krishna conscious society
and preach the name and fame of Lord Krishna.
and preach the name and fame of Lord Krishna
And Lord Chaitanya's Mahaprabhu's message.
and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message.
গোপালে আরতি আচমন দিয়া দিল বিরক সঞ্চয় আরতি করিল লোকে করে জয় জয়
Madhavendra Puri offered water to Gopal and for washing his mouth, and he gave him betel nuts to chew. Then, while Arati was performed, all the people chanted, Jai Jai, all glories to Gopal.
Gopal ki jai!
Gopal ki Jai!
Gopal ki jai!
Gopal ki Jai!
Haribo!
Haribo!
ঠাকুরের শয্যা ও শয়ন বন্দোবস্ত শয্যা করাইল নতুন খাট আনাইয়া নব বস্ত্র আনি তার উপরে পাতিয়া
Arranging for the Lord's rest, Sri Madhavendra Puri brought a new cot, and over this he spread a new bedspread, and thus made the bed ready.
তৃণা টাটি দিয়া চারিদিক আবরিল উপরতে এক টাটি দিয়া আচ্ছা দিল
A temporary temple was constructed by covering the bed all around with straw mattress. Thus, there was a bed and straw mattress to cover it.
So the deity was laid to rest after the Abhishek.
So the deities was laid to rest after the Abhishek.
Prasada, Bhoga offering,
prasadam, boga offering,
and the arti.
and the arati.
And then the deity was put to rest.
And then the deity was put to rest.
And this is the process of deity worship.
So, this is the process of deity worship.
We treat the deity exactly as we would treat Krishna.
So, we treat the deity exactly as we treat Krishna.
Because we consider the deity to be the Archa avatar, or the worshipful incarnation of the Lord.
Because we consider deity as the Archa avatar or the worshipable incarnation of the Lord. Thus ends the chapter entitled Govardhanadhari Gopal is bathed, fed, offered arati, and put to rest by Madhavendra Puri.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.